い、今ですね、こちらはですね、香港ランドのさんのね、これからちょっとね、プロジェクトのプレゼンテーションがね、始まると思いますが、ちょうどこの上野のね、上野公園のね、すぐ、まあ、中と言っていいのかな、の場所をね、今こうやって、香港ランドさんの方で貸し切っていて、まあ、会場こんな感じ、結構ね、今、どうですかね、50人ぐらい来てるのかな。これからちょっとね、香港ランドのプロジェクトをちょっとね、プレゼンテーション聞いてみたいと思います。はい、Thank you。
皆さんこんにちは。私の方から日本語でご紹介させていただきます。三原と申します。本日はお忙しい中、この特別なイベントにご参加いただきまして誠にありがとうございます。ここ東京上野の活気あふれる街で開催されるマンダニベイ投資家フォーラムへようこそ。今日はなぜセブ島がフィリピンの次の、投資のホットスポットとなっているのかを掘り下げてエキサイティングな議題が用意されています。株式会社 HC ランドの最高経営責任者の一人をお迎えしたいと思います。彼はフィリピン大学を首席優秀な成績で卒業、フィリピン大学で経営管理修士号を取得、その後株式会社 3M フィリピンで13年間国家ポストに従事。そして現在彼は株式会社 HC ランドの副社長補佐を務めています。彼は認可されたブローカーであり、自身も熱心な、金融投資家および不動産投資家であります。ミスターオードリー・ビラー、拍手をお願いいたします。
Yes. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, and thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules to attend our investors forum for this afternoon. So let us start. This afternoon, we are going to talk about real estate investment. We are going to talk about Cebu as an investment destination, and of course, we are also going to talk about why it is important to consider one of the biggest projects in Cebu, Mandani Bay, in your investment portfolio. Let me discuss about why we need to consider real estate in our investment. And I'm going to show this to you, answer the reason why through some people who are already known with their real estate investments. Let me introduce you to Bethany Franco. If you watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, she's there. She's one of the wealthy housewives of Beverly Hills. But Bethany is an entrepreneur, is a businesswoman. And like most other businesses and business owners, when you have money, when your business is successful, your next challenge is where you place your money to make it grow, right? And for Bethany, she places this in real estate because she says real estate properties, especially residential properties, can generate income year-round. So if you have a property and want to rent it out, you could be earning monthly rent year-round. There is no seasonality because tenants do not say, I only rent during December or during March, right? Any given time of the year, any person would want a place to stay, right? So there's no seasonality involved. There is that. And in the Philippines, residential properties on the average have an average contract of a year, while office properties normally 3 to 5 years contract. Okay? So imagine that if your property gets rented out, you could just be getting or receiving your rental income on a monthly basis. Okay? Another person, why real estate? Let me introduce to you Barbara Corcoran. So if you watch Netflix, there's a program called Shark Tank. And Shark Tank is a program wherein business owners would present their business ideas, and if the judges and the investors would like their business, they put money to their business. So she's one of the judges, she's one of the investors, but Barbara is really into real estate. And the reason why she picks real estate is that because she said, owning made me rich. Her story is quite simple. She started out buying a studio unit, and in a few years, 2 years after, the value appreciated, So she sold the property and then she earned a little and then bought a bigger unit, 1 bedroom. And then a few years passed, value again appreciated, she sold again for another profit. To make the long story short, in 12 years time, that 1 studio unit that she bought became a 10-bedroom apartment in Manhattan, New York. Okay? So what she did is just bought and sold. And that's why she said, owning made me rich. Okay? And let me introduce you to this girl. I know you probably don't know Dottie Herman, who is the CEO of Douglas Elliman, but I place her here because she said she chose real estate because it doesn't tie up a lot of cash. Okay? Do you agree? Do you agree that real estate do not tie up a lot of cash? Some would disagree. Why? Because some guests that I had would say, are you sure? When you invest in real estate, you talk about millions, right? And you say it doesn't tie up a lot of cash. The beauty with real estate is there's a thing called leveraging. And especially in the Philippines, the average requirement for you to invest in real estate is just roughly around 20% equity. Okay? So the 20% comes from your pocket and the remaining balance you could take a loan from the bank. So just to give you an example, if you want to earn 30,000 pesos a month, you place it in a time deposit in the Philippines. Let's just say the time deposit rate is 5% per annum. How much do you need to give to the bank as a time deposit for you to earn 30,000 pesos a month? Give me a guess. 7.2 million pesos full cash. You need to deposit to the bank 7.2 million pesos to earn 30,000 pesos a month. But in real estate, if you want to say earn a rental income of 30,000 pesos a month, yes, you might need to buy a property worth in millions, but you only need to pay an equity of 20%. And the balance, you could have the bank help you finance the balance. That's why it doesn't tie up a lot of cash. All right? Do you know this person right here? For our kababayans, do you know her? Yeah, Shawi. For our Japanese friends, Sharon Cuneta is one of the top celebrity in the Philippines, but she's a known real estate investor. And she said, there is good utang and bad utang. So, utang or debt or loan is fine when you talk about real estate. It's part of the deal, okay? If you know your earning capacity, real estate investment, even in mortgage, is a safe investment. As long as it earns, it's good. But let's just say you take a loan from the bank, a car loan because you bought a Tesla. Okay? Let's just say you bought a Tesla and you made a car. Is that a good utang or a bad utang? Probably bad because the car depreciates and you don't earn from it. But if you loan because you want to earn from it, then it's a good debt. This person, do you know him? Yes? Do you know him? Goes Donald Trump. According to Donald Trump, real estate is tangible. It's solid. It's beautiful. And he is even reinforced by this lady right here. They don't necessarily agree with each other, but when it comes to real estate, they both agree. Donald Trump and Oprah agrees that real estate is good because according to Oprah, I will forever believe that buying a home is a great investment. Why? Because you can't live in a stock certificate. You can't live in a mutual fund. In short, with real estate, you can enjoy your property. Okay? Unlike paper investments, mutual funds, stocks, they're just there. You cannot personally enjoy it. But if you have a property like a condo in Mandani Bay, which has a lot of amenities, then you could enjoy as well your property. Swim in the pool, gym, work out in the gym, basketball in the basketball court. That's what you can do. Okay? That's why these people chose real estate. Alright? Now, I think for our Japanese friends, if you want to turn your attention on that video right there, we are going to start the talk about how we earn money in real estate. Okay? So, a lot of us probably has been approached by a real estate agent or a broker and been told that, invest in real estate because you could earn money here. But the question is, how do you actually earn? The next few slides, I am going to show you some personal examples, how I earn in real estate. Okay? So, let's start with this one. Buy low, sell high. Okay? Probably your agent, your broker told you, buy now because it's low, it's cheap, and then later on when the value appreciates, you sell high. Okay? So I'll show you an example how we did this. These are personal investments of mine. Okay? So I call this Project Appraisal. All of the real estate investments that I have, I name them by project. Okay? And I document them as well. So this one, we bought a 149 square meter 3-bedroom condo at 25 million. Okay? And then, that condo, mostly in the Philippines, when you buy a condo, most of the time, it's unfurnished. Okay? So I have to set money to furnish it. I spent 1.8 million for the enhancements and the furnishings to buy the furnitures, the appliances, the fit-outs. Okay? And then a few months after, we were able to sell it at 35 million. Okay? So let's do the math.
万ペソで買った物件を3ヶ月で3500
Bought it at 25 million, paid for 1.8 million pesos of enhancements. If you want to convert this into Japanese yen, just divide by 2.5. So that our total cost is 26.8 million pesos. But we were able to sell it at 35 million, less the cost of 26.8. We profited a gross profit of 8.2 million or 31% in 3 months' time. Good or bad? Great. Right? 3 months' time, you get 8.2 million. Okay? So I'm going to show you this project right here. That's the Bear condo, a 3-bedroom condo. Alright. So again, most of the time, like in Mandani Bay, Tower 1 and Tower 1, when you buy a unit there, it's unfurnished. In Tower 2, it's semi-furnished. But we have a great news for everyone. Because if you are going to be buying a unit in Mandani Bay, Tower 3, it's already fully furnished. So you don't have to spend for that enhancement cost that I've shown you. Okay? Alright, so this is the before and this is the after. After the 1.8 million, this is the after. So we bought some piano, we added some, we placed some fluted panels on the kitchen and we turned it into a kitchen bar. Okay? The bedroom, we placed LED backlights and all that. And one of the room we converted into a massage room. Okay? Because when you buy a property for the purpose of selling, you have to think ahead. Who are you going to be selling this to? Okay? Is he someone who values relaxation? I was telling myself, if he could afford to pay 35 million pesos, he must be a very stressed person. Right? Because if you could have 35 million, you probably have a lot of businesses, right? So he deserves a massage room. Okay, so we converted one of the rooms into a massage room. But then again, if he wants to use that as his room for his kid, he can do so anytime. Okay? And there you go. This is the living area. Again, views of the kitchen. Alright, there you go. So that's how you earn. You buy low, especially during pre-selling. And then later on, the value appreciates. You sell high. My tip to you guys is, if you do this, always set money to furnish your unit. A lot of the buyers who expect to sell their unit immediately might be disappointed because, listen to this, if you have a buyer and he sees your unit and he's going to buy because he wants a place to live, then he wants to imagine himself if he could live in your unit. And the best way to do that is to already furnish it. Give him an idea where he will sleep, where he will eat, where he will watch his TV. Okay? So furnish it first. So the second example is Project Onyx. This time around is a small studio unit, bought at 8.3 million. And we paid for enhancements again. Again, we fitted out, we bought appliances and furniture, and we were able to sell it at 12 billion in 4 months' time. Okay? So 8.3 plus 700, our total cost is 9 million. Do the math. We sold it at 12. Our cost was 9, so we grossed a profit of 3 million pesos. Take note, especially to our Japanese friends, in the Philippines, when you sell a property, there are going to be costs involved. So one is your broker's fee, your professional fee. If you engage a broker to sell your property, you will have to pay a fee. Most of the time, it ranges from 3 to 5% of the selling cost. You will also have to pay for the taxes to the government. So it depends on the negotiation. If you have a standard sale, you will have to pay 6% sales tax and 1.5% documentary stamps tax to the government. Okay? So that's why I say this is gross. I still have to pay for taxes and broker's fee. Right? Okay, so this is the unit. This is a sea-facing unit. Just like Mandani Bay, Mandani Bay is a waterfronting property, which a lot of, especially expats, like. This unit is also seafronting. Okay, so if you notice, this is very bare. And after the 700,000, this is how it looks like.
70万ペソ使って作った内装ですね。すごいですね。これはもうなんかウォーターフロントがすごいですね。
So that is how you do buy low, sell high. Again, the best way to buy low is during pre-selling, okay? Because that's the time when the developer is willing to sell the properties at a lower cost because the property is not yet ready, okay? But when the property is already ready for occupancy, that's when the price is high. So if you buy during pre-selling and sell when the property is ready, you will have that earning.
プリセーリングの状態で買って、
Another way,
レディー4期間されたら売ると。
Okay, case number 3, Mandani Bay Suites. I'm very lucky to be one of the first to buy a unit in Mandani Bay. So I'm going to, this is very dear to heart because my very first Mandani Bay, which I bought in 2016, was able to successfully flip it last year. So this is a 29 square meter studio. At that time, we were able to buy it at 3.9 million. But we were able to sell it at 5.2 last year when the price is around 5.5 million. Okay? So the total amount that we paid was only 3.9. You notice that in this example, we didn't pay for any renovation cost. And I myself was surprised. I was able to sell a property without having it decorated or having it furnished. Okay? And I tried to recall how was I able to successfully sell so. I remember touring the buyer to the facilities, and they already liked it. And the buyer decided, I'm just gonna buy this and be the one to furnish it myself. Okay? So sold it at 5.2, so we earned 1.3 million. So if you divide 1.3 by 3.9, this is 33%. Okay, so this is the property. So if you notice, it's unfurnished. It's bare. No no appliances and furniture, but we were still able to successfully sell this. Take note though, again, remember that Mandani Bay Tower 3, you're very lucky actually, because the Mandani Bay Tower 3 already comes fully furnished.
これは
So
ね、
all the basic appliances
3 は
are
もうこれ
there.
フルファーニッ
The
シュになって
furniture
も
is there.
自分で内装しないで、そのまま
500, 700,000 for
ね。
that. It's part of the package. Okay? So, note on that. Okay? And second way to earn in real estate, which this is something I really love. You know why?
インカム
Because
の
the
話
first
ですね。
three
賃貸し
examples,
た場合の話
when I sold the
ね。
property, I lost ownership. In short, the property was no longer mine. I earn, but that's done. When you rent out, you earn, but the property is still yours. So in short, while you continuously rent it
今
out,
度はね、売却じゃなくてね、インカム
if
で
you don't sell your
収益
property,
上
you
げてい
could
く話を
probably
ね、
be
始めて
earning
ます。
until the property is with you. Okay? So, example number 4. This time around, this is an office unit.
あ、オフィス、オフ
Okay?
ィスユニットです
Remember, in
ね。
real estate investment, it doesn't just have to be residential. This time, this is an office.
オフィスのユニット。
We bought a 60 square meter office unit. At that time, the pre-selling price was 7 million.
700万ペソですね。
And as I said earlier, real estate doesn't take up a lot of cash. We only paid 1.4
実際払った
million
キャッシュは
equity
140万ペソ。
for the 7 million total price. Why? Because the remaining balance 5.6, we took a loan from the bank.
残りの
And we're
残
paying
金は
45,000
ね、
pesos a
4
month to the
万
bank.
5000ペソで返済の10
We were able to successfully rent this out at 60,000 a
家
month.
賃が6万ペソ。
But the total amount that we paid was only 1.4 million. So let's do the math. We earned 60,000 less our 45,000 a month amortization to the bank. In short, the loan is self-liquidating.
これ払った金額
The
から
rent pays for
ロ
the
ーンの
loan.
支払いを引いて、
And the nice thing is, I still have a little left for me. 60 minus 45, that's 15,000 a month times 12. That's 180,000 peso a year. Okay? So if you divide this versus your total cash out of 1.4,
18万
that
ペ
is
ソの収入
30%
が
per
あるの
annum.
で、
Okay?
年率 13% の利回り。
In the Philippines, the average rental yield as of last year is 6.2%. So it really depends on the project. I do not want to promise, but my observation is if you go on master plan projects, that's where you could command higher rent. But if you buy projects which are standalone projects, that's when the tenants are willing to pay less rent for your unit. So my suggestion to you guys, if and when you want to consider Cebu or the Philippines, buy in developments which are master
マ
plan.
スタープランプロジェクトがやっぱりね、
So this is the unit right here, if you notice. Is this furnished or unfurnished? Unfurnished. That's the beauty with office rental. That's why I love office rental. You know why? Because I don't have to spend for the furnishing. It's normally the tenant who will spend for that. Because who am I to know how many workstations I need to place there, right? It's the tenant who
投
will.
資の魅力は内装をね、自分でやらなくていいってことです。
Also,
テナントが内装をやるっていうのが、
office rental in the
そこの
Philippines are on the average of
質がない
3
という
to
ことです
5
ね。
years. Okay? So in short, in 3 to 5 years, you don't have to be looking for tenants every year. That's point number 2. Point number 3 is this. Since the rental contract is 3 to 5 years, standard contract in the Philippines will indicate an escalation clause.
エス
of
カレーション
3 to
クローズの
5%.
の場合あるんで、毎年ね、
So
値段が
every
上がるよう
year
な
you
契約
could
になってるんで、
increase
3
your
年から5年の契
rental
約でね。
rates. Okay? For this property right here, 2 months ago, I already increased this twice. 5% per year. Okay? And lastly, I will ask you a question. If you are the tenant and you already spent like $500,000 or maybe $1 million to fit this out, to place wall partitions, to paint the wall, to buy for air conditioning, will you immediately leave the property when the contract clause would say you cannot take out your improvements? You don't, right?
テナントがね、内装費払ってるんで、なかなかやっぱ出ていかないっていうのも、投資の魅力だということですね。
That's why I love office rental. Okay? So it's something that you might want to consider because Mandani Bay is also selling its very first office tower, which is one Mandani Bay. Can I request for some
マン
water,
ダニ
please,
ベイで
Nate?
このオフィスのユニットの販売をね、やってます。
Okay, this is the office.
これがオフィスですね。
And hold on. Skip. Okay. And last example is another project. This time around, this is a rental, but this is residential. Residentials, most of the time, it's a year or two contract. We bought a 30 square meter studio at 3.9 during pre-selling, and we paid 780,000 for the enhancements. Most residential, you need to furnish for the tenant to rent. And then, since we only paid the down payment or the equity of 780, the remaining balance we had to take a loan from the bank.
78万ペ
So at
ソ
15
を
years, we're paying about 25,000, but we were able to successfully rent this out at 34.
月の返済が2万5千
We still have 9,000 peso left per month. Times 12, that's 108. This is 10% per annum. Thank you.
で、これでいくと、家賃収入
10% per annum.
10%のね。
Okay, so not bad, right? Where do you get 10% per annum? But then again, because we bought properties from master plan communities.
これもね、マスタープランコミュニティなので。
These are really good examples, but I have to be honest with you guys. In my 13 years experience in real estate, I've also been burned. Okay? There were those that I was able to not sell the way I should sell them, or not rent it out at the price that I want to. For me, the key to success is I see a lot of successful real estate investments or properties which are done by good developers and which are master planned
いいデベロッ
properties
パーだね、マ
or
スタープランがね、
developments.
重要だということですね。
You could command higher rents. You are sure that the value
高い家賃を
appreciates.
取れるし、
Alright?
まあ、値上がりもしてきます
So this is the property. When we finish,
これがファーニッシュしたね、後ですね。
okay. So we changed the kitchen. We added backsplash, dock lights, extended the counters, added mirrors. So this is the 300,000 that we spent for. This is the
これが
トイレット
改装前ね。で、これを改装してこういう状態と。
mirror with backlighting and of course shower enclosure. Okay. And that's how we earn. So many ways to earn in real estate. Top two is when you buy low and sell high. Most of us who want to earn buy a rental, you can also rent. Take note, it's not just residential properties that you could rent out. You could also have the option to rent
レ
out
ジデンシャルだけじ
office
ゃなくてオフィ
properties.
スもいい投資ですよと。
So let's talk about Cebu.
セブについてね、なんでセブ
I hope I already convinced you that it's worth considering investing in real estate and how we actually make money in real estate because it has happened to me. But why should you consider Cebu? Let me tell you why. In Cebu right now, this thing called Cebu is happening
セ
again.
ブームっていうのが
Okay?
起きてますけど
This the first time you heard this was in the 1990s after the Typhoon Ruping, when the Typhoon Ruping devastated Cebu. But a few months after Cebu boomed, there's a lot of construction, economic progress. This has happened again. You know, well, in the past few months, last 2021, there was Odette. And after Odette, there's a lot of rebuilding happening in Cebu. So there's economic boom, there's a lot of construction, rebuilding happening. And even during the pandemic, of course, everybody suffered, right? But the following year, we already rebounded. No? The economy crunched by 9%, but by the following year, 2021, it rose up to 5.6%. And in 2022, it rose up again to at the least 5.9%. And this year, another 5 to 6% increase in GDP is expected as well. So what's causing that? There's a lot of OFWs contributing. But in Cebu right now, there's also a lot of IT and BPO companies locating in Cebu. So it's generating a lot of jobs and it's contributing to the economy of Cebu. Okay. This is just to show you that after the pandemic, the dark blue is 2020 when the pandemic started. Only 27,000 square meters of office were rented out. But by the following year, it already rose to 39%. So there's continuous growth in the
オフィ
office.
ススペースのね、増えてますね、かなりね。
Okay?
賃貸。
And in Cebu right now, the most exciting part is there's a lot of infrastructure developments happening in
セブイン
Cebu.
フラのプロ
One of
開
that
発
you
が
might
進ん
know
でますと。
of. How many of us have been to Cebu in the past 3 years? Yes? No? So if you've been to Cebu, you probably have been to this airport right here. This is the newest terminal, the
これ
international
新し
terminal.
いね、国際線の
And this is just one of the major expansions that the Cebu airport plans to embark. There's also a lot of developments happening in Cebu.
ね、セブ
Not
他社
just
のね、
Mandani
開
Bay.
発が
I'm
ね、
gonna show you, I will talk about
Singko
Mandani Bay later on, but let me excite you a bit. Developments like this one, New Star.
これニュースター、ニュ
New
ースタ
Star Resort and Casino is already
ー
open.
カジノですね。
No, it's drawing a lot of tourists, a lot of casino players.
ここは結構韓国の人気が出てきてるところですね。
And I'm sharing to you this because if there's a lot of foot traffic in the city, as real estate investors, we are being benefited. Because if there's tourists, there's what have you, people going to the city, they would look for places to stay, right? Or places to rent. So if you have a lot of people there, then
まあね、人がね、たく
chances
さん
are
そういう
your
人も含めて
property
人が
could
た
be
くさん
easily
集まる
rented
とこの
out
不動
or
産価値
could
がね、上
even
が
be
るっ
bought.
ていうのがね、もう鉄則ですと。
There's another development happening at the south part of Cebu, the South Road Properties. This is the South Coast City.
サウスコースシティ
Okay?
でセブン
This is a joint venture of the giants, SM and Ayala of the Philippines,
あ、これ
big
セブンとね、ア
corporations.
ヤラのね、
And this one would have
応援
a
事業ですね。
convention center
Convention center.
which would seat 16,000 people. So international concerts could already be
大
done
き
here
な
in
コンベンション
this
センター
city.
6万人収容ですね。
Another hotel casino is also being built
これもこういうカジノの開発ですね。
the Mactan Island
マクタンの
of Cebu.
うん。
So one casino, check. Another casino is ongoing.
で
And this is going to be operated by the Solaire Group.
あ、これソレアグループですね。が開発しているカジノ、マクタンにできますね。
Of course, infrastructure-wise, we just opened last year, 2022, the third bridge, which is now officially the longest and the tallest bridge in the
フ
Philippines.
ィリピンで一
We
番
call
長
it
い
the
ね、長い
CCLEX.
ね、橋になります。
Okay? So if you go to Cebu, you could pass by this bridge. This connects SRP directly to Mactan Island via Cordova. This is a 30 billion project.
セブンと
This is a partnership of a private firm and the government.
プロジェクト300億円増のね、プロジ
The
ェクト。
beauty about this CCLEX is that it will ease the traffic in the metro because people from the south no longer have to pass by Cebu City, Mandaue City, and Lapu-Lapu City to go to the airport.
これができたことでね、セブシティ通らないで南からね、セブ島の
Okay, more photos.
これは
Another project, the bus rapid transit. You have that this year, no?
Bus.
In Tokyo, in Japan. We will soon have a bus rapid transit in Cebu, and this is going to be operated. The government is saying by this December they are going to open the bus rapid transit. So a dedicated lane for the buses, so that when you wait for a bus and it says it's going to arrive at 9:15, the bus will arrive at 9:15 because it will have its own lane. There is no traffic involved for the bus.
もうバスレーンを専用のバスを作ってるから時間制限。
Another project too is the Metro Cebu Expressway.
エクスプレスウェイで高速道路です
This will connect Danao to the north and Naga to the south.
これはの北と
So
南
now
を
if
ね
you drive from Danao to Naga, it would take you 3 to 4 hours. But with this road, it will be cut to 1 hour 25 minutes.
ね1時
So,
25分ね時
When
間
I
が
was
できる
younger, I loved going to the northern and the southern part of Cebu because if you've been to Cebu, that's where the beautiful beaches are. But lately, because of the traffic, I no longer want to drive every weekend because the traffic would consume your time. But with this, you can do that again because it's an easy drive. Okay? And the most exciting part of them all, one of my mentors told me, infrastructure unlocks the value of property. What does that mean? If there are projects like a bridge or a highway, an expressway, which is near to your property would benefit because the value will increase, right? And look at this, because this bridge, the port bridge, will be connecting the mainland of Cebu, the main island of Cebu, to Mactan Island, where the airport is. This is the bridge, the red line, and this is going to be connected with a coastal road, which will be called the Mandawi Coastal Road. Okay? And that Mandawi Coastal Road will start just a few blocks away from Mandani Bay. Right? So what am I saying here? If you live in Mandani Bay now and you drive to the airport, give or take, will probably take you 25-30 minutes. But once this coastal road connected to the bridge, which lands directly to the airport, is there, give or take 8 minutes time, you're in the airport if you drive from Mandani Bay. Okay? So I'm showing you this now because I myself as an investor, I'm really anticipating that once this project is already starting to construct, or once especially the project is already there, I'm quite excited that the value will soon also appreciate. Alright? So that's Mandani Bay, very near to the start of the coastal road. Okay, imagine that. First things first, what is Mandani Bay? Mandani Bay is a 20-hectare waterfront mixed-use community. It's not one tower, it's got 2 towers. It's like a mini city. It's composed of 20 towers altogether and sitting on a 20-hectare property. That in itself is already a very great point. Why? Because the developers in the Philippines, if they have a 1-hectare property, they probably built 2 to 3 towers. But in this development, 1 tower per hectare. So it's a less dense development. Why? The developer HT Land purposely made it like that because it wants to be world class. It has to be less dense. It has, the residents should have more spaces to enjoy. Okay? And it's going to be mixed use, so not just residential condos. And this is a sea-fronting property, a coastal property. Okay? Where is it located? It's located in Mandawi City, which is in the heart of Metro Cebu. Okay? So if you're coming from the Mactan Cebu Airport, you want to go to Cebu City, you will always pass this area. Okay? So Mandani Bay, as I said earlier, is mixed use. Do not think just condos. There will be office towers, of course residential condos. Hopefully soon they will have a hotel and some retail at the ground and second floor. So the retail, all of this ground and second floor that you see, these are going to be street fronting retail. Okay? But the very nice thing about Mandani Bay is it will have a recreational component. Because when we designed Mandani Bay, the first person we had in mind was the resident. We want the resident to truly enjoy living in Mandani Bay. So what are these recreational facilities? I'm going to be showing to you that in a while. What sets Mandani Bay different from the rest? Number one, I already told everyone, if you're going to choose a pre-selling property, make sure you buy from a trusted, reliable developer. Okay? Who is the developer of Mandani Bay? Mandani Bay is developed by HT Land, a joint venture of TAF Properties, a company in the Philippines, and Hong Kong Land. Okay, Hong Kong Land, of course, based in Hong Kong, but there's a lot of projects all around Asia including Marina Bay Financial Center in Singapore.
マリーナベイファイナンシャルセンターなんかも開発しているディベロッパーですね、香港は。
leading property investment management and development groups with an esteemed reputation for creating premium quality office and retail buildings and upscale properties for residential and hospitality. Its vision centers upon the four land concepts
こ
of
れは
success,
今、香港ランドの
prosperity,
ね、紹介ビデオです
and
ね。
opportunity. The company was incorporated on the 2nd of March 1889. It created central Hong Kong.
香港ですね。香港のね、結構中心部の開発とかやってるん
Grade
で
A
ね。
buildings that span over 450,000 square meters of prime commercial space. A dynamic landscape that has become its land of success. Hong Kong Land's portfolio in Central, one of Asia's leading central business districts, attracts the world's foremost companies and luxury
いろん
brands.
なラグジュアリーブランドなんかも
This
大
is
事
the
にしてや
landmark,
ってることと、
the leader of luxury urban
ラ
living,
グジュア
with
リ
heritage for
ー
prestigious shopping,
物件
dining,
に
and
強いということですか
lifestyle
ね。強いということです
experiences.
ね。
This success in Hong Kong has spurred the company to expand its footprint in Asia through the land of prosperity. In Singapore, the company has developed
シンガポール
premium
ですね。
grade A
今開発して
commercial
ま
and
す。
residential spaces at
レ
Marina
ジデ
Bay
ンシャル、
Financial
マリ
Center,
マリナ
one
マリ
Raffles
マ
Link,
リーナベイファイナ
and
ンシャルセ
City
ンターの
Link
開
Mall,
発やってる
and has
シンガ
built
ポ
some
ー
of
ル
the
で。
city's luxury residential properties. In Jakarta, the
ジャカル
company
タ、イ
owns
ンド
a
ネシアのジャカルタで
portfolio
も
of
開
prime
発やってま
offices
す
and
ね。
upscale residential buildings. In mainland China's key cities like
中国です
Beijing,
ね。
Shanghai,
上海とかね、
Chengdu,
チェンジュ、
and Chongqing,
チョン
the
チンとか
company
ね、
is
やってま
developing
す。開
high
発やって
quality
る。
residential
ハイ
properties
クオリティ
and
レ
is
ジ
the
デンシャ
name
ル。
behind one of
あ
Macau's
とマカオです
prestigious
ね。
developments.
マカオでも開発やってます。
The company's land of inspiration is brought to life through sustainability programs. By publicly displaying its valuable art collection, through innovative ideas and improvements, and iconic architectural designs. The land of opportunity is where Hong Kong Land creates value and opportunities for its tenants and buyers through world-class quality management and services. Hong Kong Land is embarking upon the future with upcoming plans that will enhance the region's key central business districts. From its roots in Hong Kong, it owns a growing portfolio
まあどん
across
どんね
Asia.
アジア圏で結構ね、どんどんね、
This innovative
事業
vision
展開
as a
広げ
premium
てます。
quality developer, together with the traditions of partnership, integrity, and excellence, will guide Hong Kong Land as it continues developing for tomorrow and beyond.
So Hong Kong Land has been in the industry for quite a number of years, 140 plus years. It started in 1889.
40 年
Very
間
financially
も
stable.
つながって
It's
続いて
the
る
top
会社ですね。
landlord in central Hong Kong. Now the projects of Hong Kong Land are all over Asia, Indonesia, Thailand, Cambodia, and of course in the Philippines. Now Mandani Bay is not even the first project of Hong Kong Land in the Philippines. There was 1 and 2 Rojas, which was in Metro Manila. Now the second vertical project is Mandani Bay. Okay, and there's more, I think, for Hong Kong Land. So this is a very trusted developer because as real estate investors, we want to ensure that when we let go of our money, the promised condominium or office that we paid for is going to be turned over as committed, right? As specified. Okay? So we want that, and we also want a brand. Why? Because imagine, guys, you will have tenants soon, right? And your tenants will be asking, who made this development right here? In the Philippines, the tenants are becoming brand conscious. So if they're looking for a space to live, an apartment, a condo, and they ask who did the condo, and you told them a developer, which he doesn't even know, that's going to be top consideration for some tenants. So you have to make sure that the property you buy is also, there's a brand to it. Okay? Now to ensure that the development Mandani Bay is going to be world class, we also engage with world class consultants. Parsons Brickhoff, we engage a traffic consultant to ensure we don't contribute to traffic in the worsening traffic of Metro Cebu, right? So there's also an environmental consultant, and Cohen, a landscape architect based in Singapore, was also engaged.
関係とか。
Pitan, based in Hong Kong, an interior design studio, was also engaged to do the interiors. And of course, our master planner is Krohn Architects from Australia. So as you can see, it's not just HC Land, it's not just Hong Kong Land doing Mandani Bay. A lot of consultants were also engaged. Of course, when you want to invest in a property, you look at the location. As they say, location, 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 right? So where is Mandani Bay? This is mainland Cebu right here. And this is Mactan Island, where the airport is. Okay? So Mandani Bay sits very strategically because as I said earlier, if you land in the airport and you want to go to Cebu City, which is this part right here, you will never miss passing by this area. Okay? Now this area as well, which we currently call the North Reclamation Area, and the Mandawi government wants to rename into Mandawi Business District. In itself, this is already a developed area. So in Mandani Bay, notice that right across Mandani Bay, one of the biggest universities in Cebu, Cebu Doctors University, is just across Mandani Bay. Okay? Singapore International School, an international school, is just beside Mandani Bay. So for those who bought properties in phase 1, they're already enjoying rental income from students in CDU. Cebu Doctors University. I see there during afternoon there's Cebu Doctors students living in the studio units in Mandani Bay, renting out because these are children of high income parents. If you're able to send your kid to CDU, you probably could afford paying for the rent in Mandani Bay. Okay? And there's Chonghua Hospital and UCMed, and I place this here because Mandani Bay is also a good retirement area for people who want to retire but be still active. It's a very nice place to live in because a lot of things you can do here. But worst case scenario, knock on wood, we get sick, the hospitals are just a few blocks away. Okay? There is Park Mall, there is SM Mall, there's Bai Hotel, and of course the airport is just 25 to 30 minutes away today. But in 2028, once the port bridge is done, how many minutes?
コースブリッジができると8分で行っちゃうと空港まで。
Mandani Bay is one of those projects, if not the only project which is highly super, I call it ultra amenitized. Okay? The project with the most amenities in Cebu. And I say this to you without blinking an eye because I'm going to show you this. For this phase, for example, this is Mandani Bay Key. Okay? Your sellers are promoting this to you right now. This is phase 2. This phase alone would have not an ordinary pool, this is an Olympic-sized pool. It would also have another kiddie pool here and a lounge pool. So in one podium, you will have 3 pools. You will have an outdoor playground for the adults, an outdoor kiddie playground as well. You will have an indoor gym, an indoor playroom, a basketball court, a badminton court, something that you will never find in other projects in the Philippines right now. Okay? Take note, that is just on this podium. Okay? But I have more surprises for you. Before I show you the surprises, I'm gonna show you how Mandani Bay and HC Land turn over the first phase. So you might be asking, okay, Odi, you said HC Land has a brand. What kind of units are we going to expect? What kind of building, what kind of facilities are we going to expect? We have already turned over phase 1, so I'm going to show you how we turn this over to the residents of phase 1. Okay, because now, right now, phase 2 is what we're marketing. So this is phase 1.
Hello,
Phase
welcome to
1.
the bustling metropolis of Cebu, and we are here in one of the city's newest lifestyle destinations. A waterfront development that's set to become Asia's next urban landmark. A place where you live your passions for adventure, culture, creativity, and water. Mandani Bay. Mandani Bay Suites is made up of 2 residential towers and has recently received a 5-star vendor rating from the Philippine Green Building Council. And Mandani Bay Suites is rated the highest and the first 5-star vendor rating in the whole Visbon region. That means you are living in a place that adheres to world-class standards in green building. These residential towers sit on top of a sprawling podium with street-front retail areas and an exclusive amenity deck, and that's what we're here to explore. Finally, we're ready to show you Mandani Bay Suites. This is Mandani Bay's first residential enclave, and by the looks of it, this is going to be a whole new experience. Let's go. Entering the Mandani Bay Suites lobby, you are immediately greeted by a sense of warmth with its lighting, modern fixtures, and eye-catching details. And the one thing that you'll never miss here is the innate creativity of Cebuanos with this beautiful art painting by world-renowned Cebuano artist, Sho Montera. It goes perfectly well with these contemporary furniture pieces by Murillo Furniture. But this is just the beginning of the Mandani Bay Suites experience. Living in the Mandani Bay Suites gives you the exclusive and luxurious lifestyle you've always dreamed of. Not only that, here you live a life built around the premise of safety and security with CCTV monitoring and convenience through the community app, which helps you in managing system-related concerns, and it even lets you book your visitors. It's so easy and convenient, what more can you ask for? But I might have gotten ahead of myself because there's more. Let's go up and check out the surprise that awaits us at the amenity. Wow. Look at that sprawling amenity deck. Everything you want in a residential amenity area is here. A world-class lifestyle is never complete without amenities that are equally world-class. Here at the Mandani Bay Suites, the facilities are made to enable you to live your passions for water and your taste for adventure. And not only that, with all these creature comforts waiting for you every time you come home, you are sure to live a well-balanced daily life. Whether you crave adventure or perhaps you just want to relax, Mandani Bay Suites fully landscaped amenity deck is a space where you can find lush, verdant greens that can help you unwind, refresh, and share precious moments with your family and friends. Here you have a 25-meter lap pool and the lounge by the pool terrace. This part of the amenity area lets you enjoy various water features. If you're not in the mood to stay under the tropical sun and you're more of the indoors type, their fully air-conditioned clubhouse might be the perfect place for you. Come, let's see what's inside. There's a myriad of activities you can do here at the clubhouse. Let's take a look at the spaces you can enjoy here one by one. First up, the function room. The function room is the perfect spot for you to host your gathering. It's just the right size for an intimate gathering. I can already imagine precious moments being celebrated. Over there on the other side of the clubhouse, we have dedicated recreational spaces. We have the play area for the kids with colorful murals on the walls, padded floors, and spaces with toys, games, and books to keep the children busy. The game room for those who are into playing billiards and other exciting games. We have a karaoke room wherever you feel like singing your heart out. And the reading room for those who want to spend a quiet time with the books. The amenity area has everything for everyone. And when I say everyone, that's everyone in the family. What about the fitness spots? Of course, the amenities are complete without the fitness area. So, let's check out the layout. Aside from an extensive selection of modern gym equipment, this gym offers you a beautiful view of the Batam Channel continue your yoga or dance classes. It can't get any more relaxing than that.
But that's not all. There's also an outdoor fitness area for your workouts.
A playground for the young ones and the young at heart. And there's even a yoga deck for those who want rejuvenating meditations to be part of their daily routine.
Now the amenity deck is not the only thing that's remarkable. Of course, your homes are beautifully positive.
With different unit types that's tailored to fit any kind of lifestyle, you're sure to have well-planned spaces that's sustainable and packed with built-in modern conveniences. Here, we have a 2-bedroom unit with unit sizes that range from 65 to 80 square meters, with a living area, a kitchen, 2 baths, and each unit has its own balcony.
Being on this spot allows me to see the best that Cebu has to offer. It's such a picture-perfect view that truly inspires creativity. The amenity deck down below, the panoramic view of the city sky, and off in the distance, you can see the mountains just as the sun is about to set. Well, there you have it. This is where you can find a life that's built around connectivity, luxury, and accessibility. But this is just the beginning. Mandani-based master plan has a lot more in store for you in the years to come. As this development grows, you're sure to grow along with it as it shapes and redefines the city's skyline. Whether you're looking for adventure, culture, creativity, or water, the Mandani-based Suites is where your new life begins.
So the Mandani Bay Suites, phase 1 is almost sold out. Very few units left. I think there are only less than 10 units left. But these are already ready for occupancy units. So this is what I'm telling everyone. If you buy during pre-selling, it's normally still lower in price. Because the RFO units that we have right now is already around 15 to 20% higher in price versus the pre-selling units in Mandani Bay Key. Alright?